Knicks and Pacers. And this one is probably my favorite series to watch this upcoming round because of the rivalry that they had throughout the 90s, because of the teams themselves. I love the Pacers, and I love this gritty mentality of Pascal Siakam and Tyrese Halliburton. And the Knicks team, I had said before the playoffs started, what did I say? Eastern Conference Finals, Knicks and Celtics. And I think that I'm going to stick to my guns here, and I think the Knicks and the Celtics will meet with each other in the Eastern Conference Finals, something we haven't seen since the 80s, probably, to this point. I just like how the Knicks are. They have Jalen Brunson, who has proven to be an absolute dog, especially in the postseason with some of his performances that we saw last round. You also have Dante DiVincenzo, who I just love just saying his name. I'll say it again, Dante DiVincenzo. OG Anunoby, Josh Hart. This team, they're a gritty team. Do I think they'll make the finals? No. But do I think that they can have a great series against the Pacers? Yes. Both of these teams seem to be kind of a similar team as well. Deep, two pretty decently sized stars as well. And I think this is ultimately going to go 7. I think it's going to be a physical series, but I give the Knicks the edge because I trust Tom Thibodeau, and I also think that Jalen Brunson's going to have some takeover games.
Wow, yeah, I really trust Tom Thibodeau to win the finals. Oh, wait, that was Rick Carlisle, the Pacers head coach there. I think it's going to be a really good series. It's going to go 7. However, I do think the Pacers have the coaching advantage, and Tom Thibodeau's style of running guys into the ground hasn't really paid out, and it's come back to bite them in a few situations. And I go through the matchups in my head. I'm like, okay, so Embiid was a little bit hurt. He was not crashing the glass on offense at all. The Pacers, the 76ers had no hustle, where if you put Joe Biden out on the court in that elimination game, you would think he was Joe Biden. That's how useless he was on crashing the glass. He was just standing there doing nothing in an elimination game. You probably could have done more than Tobias Harris did, but you're replacing him with Pascal Siakam, who's familiar with OG Anunoby, and most people think he's the better of the two players with Pascal Siakam. He has finals experience on this team. And then you go through Tyrese Halliburton, more of a pass-first point guard. I think Brunson is definitely a better scorer, but I would give being an overall point guard, facilitating the offense. I think Halliburton does it a little bit better than Brunson. So I think the frontline matchup is going to be a lot tougher for the Knicks versus the Pacers in this series, because you have Miles Turner, who can stretch the floor, and I think rebounding wise and defensively will do more than Embiid did last series. And then I'll also go with Siakam putting up a better fight than Josh Harris down low. So I think that's really where it's going to be decided. Brunson will do his thing. TJ McConnell and Josh Hart will do their things respectively, and Tyrese Halliburton will do his thing. However, we do have Obi Toppin on that team, former Knicks, so he'll have the documents and the inside information, and I may have sent him a few about the Knicks off of your desk.
Traitor.
I didn't tell you that I took them, but I did send some documents over on your Knicks to Obi Toppin.
Dude, I didn't consider Obi Toppin in the mix here. Man, I may have to change my pick now. Jeez. Obi Toppin taking over the world here against the Knicks. Yeah, this is going to be a series. I'm excited to see the series play out. They play at, I believe, at 7:30. So
7:30, yeah, they play an hour and a half tonight when we're recording.
Yeah, so, I mean, I'm excited to see how this plays out. I feel like after game 1, we'll have a better idea of how the rest of the series will go. However, I'm taking my Knicks. I said, beginning of the playoffs, I said Celtics and Knicks, and we're so close to that being true. Who am I to back down now?
Yeah, I like Celtics and Knicks. I like the whole aura of it, the stage. And then I watch a Knicks game and I'm like, what are these people doing wearing jerseys over polos? It's the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. It's like, you want to see like the worst sports fashion ever? It's like, okay, let's dress for golf and then just throw an NBA jersey over it. It's like, I'm all set with that.
But Spike Lee.
But Spike Lee is a national treasure and a great movie director if you've ever seen any of his films. But I think in all seriousness, this will be a good series. I think it will be 7 games because the Bucks series and the 76ers series was both a brawl. And I like that the NBA is actually letting them play. So we had both series kind of in the 90s, and we're not seeing any massive blowouts. And the Knicks really only blew out the Sixers, I think, in 1 game, and vice versa. We saw the Pacers really only blow out the Bucks a couple times. They gave a few games away. However, think it's going to be a good matchup, but I will take Rick Carlisle, Siakam in the front line of the Pacers to edge out the Knicks, even though it'll be a great series, unless Jalen Brunson decides to drop 40 every single game, which he might.
That's very, very possible. I'm actually going to take him scoring 40 points in every game for the sake of Jalen Brunson. I think ultimately comes down to game 7 and how they perform, but I think the Knicks are going to take it in 7.
Yeah, Knicks in 7. It'll be a good series, but I will go with the Pacers in 7. Like Siakam, like Rick Carlisle, a little bit more than Tom Thibodeau, went out there and won the famous championship with Dirk Nowitzki. So I am forever in debt for him beating Miami in that first year.